Senior Bowl accepted invites that are most intriguing among the prospects in the eyes of Headley and Drew? And Drew, or rather Headley, I'm going to start with you. You're really intrigued to see a linebacker out of Tulane by the name of Dorian Williams.
Yeah, I caught him this season, man, and he just flies all over the football field, sideline to sideline. He can play the pass. He can rush the quarterback. It kind of reminds me of not speaking about him, Dorian Headley, where he has all the athletic capabilities. It's the instincts. It's the awareness. Is my head caught in the backfield when the play is on the edge? Am I going to the edge when the guy's cutting up in the middle? So it's just about that. So coaching at Senior Bowl, and let's see how he adjusts to that. And I like his talent, man, because the traits are there.
All right. Staying on the defensive side of the ball here, among the most intriguing prospects that are expected to attend the Senior Bowl this upcoming year, Keon White, the defensive lineman from Georgia Tech. Drew.
Hey, real quick, for the Tulane linebacker, man ain't got on no gloves, bro. I mean, he greasy. Just want to put that out there. Somebody want to,
that's that Cole Strange. That's that Cole Strange aesthetic.
See how he doing though, right?
You feel me? That's that aesthetic. Yeah, man.
No, but Keon White is very, very interesting because I like his size. I like his power. I like that, Georgia Tech kind of used him. They kind of used him inside. They used him outside. The thing about him is just he has a lot of technical issues that I think that affect his game, that keep him from being consistent. And so I think that when we're watching him at the Senior Bowl, I want to see him to be able to disengage much quicker because he uses his length well, man. He just doesn't ever disengage enough for me to make a play on the ball. I think he needs more pass rush moves. So if he can kind of refine those things, I think that, another issue that I had with him is that he stands up too fast, you know what I'm saying? Loses that leverage. So I think that if he can refine those things, you got a guy here, man. He's just some clay that's got to be molded and get right. And sometimes it really just comes down to a guy just being coached properly. Like, damn, how do we pass on this guy? Well, the stuff he was doing, what was fixable stuff that you just had to coach him up, get it right.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, he's a transfer from Old Dominion. I wonder, as you indicated, he possesses the length, right, to kind of keep the offensive lineman off of his frame, but he stays engaged with the offensive lineman too long. Is it because he's two gapping? Did you see that? No, it's just he's just kind of languishing on the block. Okay. Yep. Gotcha. So we'll keep an eye out for Keon White and see if he can refine some of those technical issues Drew mentioned. Headley, next up we have Trey Palmer, the receiver from Nebraska, a guy that you're going to be paying close attention to. Why is that?
Yeah, he's a big play threat waiting to happen, has that speed, ball tracking abilities. He's just always making big plays in that Nebraska offense. It's a wide open offense now, so let's just see how he looks at the Senior Bowl in a different offense, how he adjusts to physicality, because he's not the biggest guy. So we're going to see how he adjusts to some of those big boys out there. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to mention another receiver from Princeton.
Hot route.
Andre Yosevich, 6'3", 200, blazing speed. Sprinter. I think he could be like maybe this year's Christian Watson from Green Bay, another guy like that. So we'll see what he does at the Senior Bowl. But there's a lot of hype on him coming in.
You gotta shout out Ross Tucker, man. You know how he do his
Princeton
Ivy League guys, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, Drew, we have Jalen Duncan. Now, this is Duncan's second appearance among the Senior Bowl primer. Headley mentioned that he was one of the players that had the most to prove down in Mobile. You consider him one of the more intriguing prospects, Drew. Why is that?
Because he does have the most to prove. Headley talked about it earlier in terms of all his good qualities in terms of his size, his athletic ability. When he gets it right, it's a wrap. But there's a lot of wrong. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what that looks like at the Senior Bowl in terms of getting that wrong right. And he has a chance to catapult himself and dominate, man, and say, okay, this is the Jalen Duncan that we thought he could be this season and just wasn't.
It's very intriguing because he's so polarizing, right? The opinions on him cover a very wide range. There are people who love him and think this, hey, like you said, some of his deficiencies are just, things that you have to coach and the traits are in place, where others are like, listen, I don't want to take any chances from a technical standpoint among my offensive linemen early in the draft. If we're talking, day two, then we can kind of engage him a bit more. So really, really interesting to see how he acquits himself down in Mobile. Headley, back to you. Back to you. You got a cornerback here in Julius Brents from Kansas State. Why are you so intrigued by him going into Senior Bowl week?
Man, that Big 12 championship, man, against Quentin Johnson, that game was quite a uneven performance by Julius Brents. He's a guy to watch though because he's 6'4", he could run. You know, he's one of those perimeter corners, but they attacked him in that game, man. Duggins and Quentin Johnson deep down the field. Johnson got him twice. I think he had 2 defensive pass interferences. But on the same note, he turned his head one time, got an interception, jumped a route one time. So it was just, you've seen the flashes, but then you've seen the bad stuff. So let's see who you are. Like, you know, Quentin Johnson is a stud receiver. You've had some good reps against him, but are you inconsistent and you're going to get beat by other guys as well? So, you know, it's a guy that I got my eye on.
All right. All right. And the last player among the most intriguing prospects, as of right now, as part of this initial leg of our Senior Bowl primer. Again, this is going to be going on for the coming weeks as we lead up to draft season and ultimately Senior Bowl week down in Mobile. Drew, you got your eye on Aubry Miller, the linebacker from Jackson State.
Yeah, you know, with everything going on with Jackson State and Deion going over to Colorado, this guy, I think he showed up on one of our shows in terms of, you know, I like to highlight the HBCUs, and he
absolutely
popped up, racking up the stats, and you know, he is a sideline to sideline linebacker. He's that new age linebacker that you want at the position, and Deion loved him. He said he's the commander of the defense, man. He's handling business, you know. So, you know, it's gonna be interesting to see how he fares with different competition. Let me see. Did I get that? Did I do away with the tweet he had? He said, "Y'all forgot I'm the number 1 linebacker in the state at that time when recruiting was happening." So, you know, listen, I'm trying to see that guy again. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what that looks like amongst the elite.